Welcome to Jump School. I'm your host, Ihsaan Ali, aka the Stylejumper. On this podcast, you'll learn a ton of things. We'll talk about style, confidence, etiquette, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Today's episode was brought to you by my new book, Why Style Matters, The Mindset of Dressing Well and How It Impacts Your Life. To get your autographed copy, click the link in the description. Today's guest is a serial entrepreneur, custom clothier, cigar aficionado, and private cocktail maker. He does everything with purpose, the one and only Terry Corbett. Episode 16. The following is an excerpt from Instagram Live. Let's go.
There he is. How you doing, good sir?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I am doing excellent. I'm happy to have you.
Right.
Stylish as usual. Killing it.
Thank you.
Well, I wanted to first of all thank you for coming on today on Jump School. We'll get this phone situated for you.
Right. It's difficult 'cause I don't have a prop, so I'm not used to doing stuff like this. So,
look, man, we gotta get
good.
you. We gotta get you a quick tripod and have it
I
set
know,
up, man.
man.
You're such a popular guy, man. You need to have that set up quick.
I don't really like doing stuff like, I don't really like I think I've probably done maybe 2 other interviews other than that, but that I like to be behind the scenes, man.
Gotcha. Well, let me start by saying thank you so much, and thank you everyone for hopping on. I'm Ihsaan of the Jump School, and we have the serial entrepreneur. Someone I've learned a lot about in these past 2 weeks, Mr. Terry Corbett. We're going to talk about some amazing things. And so, Terry, thank you so much for hopping on the show. So how you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm in New York City, so this is like ground zero for COVID.
Yes, sir.
But it looks like our governor has been doing a pretty decent job, although I'm very displeased with the decision that he wants to send kids back to school.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, things are good. Everybody is healthy. Everybody's in good health and spirits. And so, hey, I'm blessed, man. I'm above 6 feet. So what can I say?
Hey, you and me both. I was thinking about it, and how I discovered you was through this whole dynamic of COVID with our boy Michael Andrews and
Yeah.
architect, man. He had you on and learn more about your story. And so I wanted to start by just letting everybody know who you are, your origin story. So I understand you grew up in Tampa. Tell us about Tampa, man. You guys know how to rock light colors.
I actually grew up across the bridge. I grew up in a place called St. Petersburg, Florida. It's across the bridge from Tampa. Grew up in projects, very humble beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you could say I'm from the other side of the tracks, right?
All right.
For me, it's always been about my own talents, my own hard work. I didn't have anyone to put me on.
Mm.
I'm not part of any organizations, private or known. So for me, it's all been about just keeping my focus, exploring any idea, any passion that I want to do. So I came up from St. Petersburg, Florida, and then I moved to Atlanta in '89, and I was there for about 10 years, and then I got into the clothing business. I was mentored by a gentleman named Patrick Bellamy in St. Petersburg, Florida, which is a great dude. And when I say mentor, not necessarily, he taught me anything, but I was able to go over to his house while he was making clothing for clients and for shows, and I didn't know that was a part of me.
Yeah.
And I moved to Atlanta in '89. I ended up around 90, 91. I met a gentleman named Jabri, and I went through some tailoring classes with him.
Okay.
And then it pretty much flourished. So, and then I met a gentleman named Joseph Hinton around 92, 93, and he taught me a little bit more of a fine art of tailoring. I think Joseph is still in Atlanta. Okay. And then from there, I met Rico Wade through Organized Noise, and Bob Whitfield was my client at the time. He introduced me. I met him through Patchworks Recordings. It's still around 25. They just celebrated their 25th year in business.
Okay.
And from there, I started doing clothing for Outkast, Goody Mob. I did TLC, I did Usher, I did CeeLo. And then I matriculated to doing clothing for athletes in the NFL and the NBA. So that's a small part of my beginning.
The introduction to the beginning. You know, it's
Right.
It's interesting. I grew up in South Carolina, and we think about the story of hip hop and growing up in that era. And you were in the fashion side of things in hip hop, which is one of the most important times. The early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, you know, mid 90s, you got Outkast. I'm from South Carolina, so that was the first group that I heard that people talk like me, you know, that I could truly say was the experience.
You know what's crazy?
What's that?
When I met Rico from Organized Noise, you know, it's Rico, Ray, and Pat.
Yep.
Pat Sleepy Brown, and Rico invited me over, and lo and behold, I go to the dungeon, and he told me he had a group that was just signed to LaFace, and I set in on at least half the making of Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music.
Oh man!
At the dungeon, bro.
My gosh.
Yeah, those was my dudes, man. Rico, you know, I became really, really close to Rico. And he's the one that really was the one that really introduced me into that world. So I'll always be holding to Rico Wade, especially from Organized Noise. Without him, I would have never had an opportunity to do a lot of the artists at LaFace Records. Mm-hmm. And from there, as you know, once you build clients, you attract more clients. So he
Absolutely.
was, you know, he was the impetus. He you know, he was the person that introduced me to that world. So
got it. Let me ask you this: when you were in St. Petersburg, for those who don't know, Gulf Coast of Florida, you know what I mean. A lot of my family's down in Dade County, Dania, Pompano Beach.
Okay, so they're from the bottom. Then we call it the bottom, man. In Florida, any old school head like me,
they're from the bottom.
We call it down there the bottom.
Yeah, okay. That's what's up. So being. What do you feel it was the difference? You know, if you're from the bottom and you're from out that way, you know, in St. Petersburg, what would you say were the influences? How is that different from the way people dressed and communicated, you know, in the bottom? I'm really curious about that.
You know what, man? I'm not trying to offend nobody, but I ain't have no goddamn influences, man. To be quite honest with you, I just know I wanted to get the hell out.
Yeah.
I left St. Petersburg, Florida, in 1989 with $50 in my pocket. It was saying, like, you know what? If I had to sleep on the fucking streets, I'm not going back to that motherfucker.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what I was, because I just felt like I was such an odd. That I was odd. You ever heard? I forget who said that quote, but if you judge a fish by climbing a tree, it'll think it's, you know, it'll. I don't know the exact quote. Yeah. But I felt like I was a fish climbing a tree.
And
you know what I mean?
Instead of being a cat, you actual fish need to be in water. So
right.
You tell the fish
right.
you're a bad dog. I get it.
And you know, and great people though. You know, great people, great down home, you know, people. But you know, for me personally, I just felt that I was never understood. I was never understood. I would never be understood. And I just felt like I would die. My soul would die. I would be a walking dead if I stayed.
Oh.
And so my whole thing was, and I guess I can contribute St. Petersburg, Florida for that, is that building up so much ambition in me to say, I can do better than than, I don't want to say my surroundings, but I just felt from a human being, wanting to express himself,
Mm-hmm.
that the environment wasn't open to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I know
when
exactly what you mean.
so when you suppress for so long, you could either accept that and cower in it, or you can go the other way and use it as fuel.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess St. Petersburg, Florida gave me that. They gave me fuel to be like, I can fucking do this shit, man.
Yeah.
And I'm special in my own right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna allow anyone to convince me otherwise. Regardless of wealth, regardless of location, regardless of association, what have you. Like, God made only one Terry Corbett. He only made one me, which makes me special. Like the other 7.6 billion people walking this planet, they're special as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
It's interesting you said that, though, because I remember being a kid in South Carolina, in which my high school was built on the land my family sharecropped. So I know what that's like. I knew at 20 that I was not going to be in South Carolina. I knew it was like this fire inside of me that I had to leave. I left home in 95,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it, because I felt like it was suffocating me. I love my family. I love everything, but I felt like I couldn't breathe back home. You know what I mean? And to your point, of being a creative, thinking outside of the box, having your own unique point of view, I felt like if I didn't leave, then I would be dead. Like you're saying, walking dead, not having any internal belief. You're either gonna work at a plant, load trucks, or work in a factory somewhere, or work at the hospital system. So that was it, or get married at 21.
Here's what's your first name again? I'm sorry.
Ihsaan.
Okay, I'm sorry. So Ihsaan, here's the thing, right? Your feeling was the same as mine. And what we don't want, the people that love us and the people that, like where we were born and raised, who reared us, we don't want to come across as somehow we're putting down their substance.
Yeah.
What we're saying is that there is something in us that wanted something different.
Yep.
And we felt that we were being suppressed in a certain way. And for us, it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that. I want to be something different. Mm-hmm. And this current land that I'm occupying don't allow me to don't allow me to be that. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of what you and I are saying. Because some people could take it the wrong way.
I agree. Some people might take it the wrong way, but also I think there's a lot of people who feel that way. Even if you're from New York, or if you're from, Jersey, Cali, Chicago, St. Louis.
Right.
It's just like, that there's more in you that needs to be expressed, and the way that you feel as though you can do that is leaving your environment.
Agreed.
It's not home. It's not, the home is in the heart. I'm always going to be a South Carolina boy or guy or man, mm-hmm. but I needed to express myself in a different way. So let's talk about style and design. So when did you remember when you thought this clothes just really speak to me? Like I have to have color things to match. I'd love to hear it.
I remember the moment, bro. I was at a nightclub. This was in I want to say maybe 93, 92, 93, maybe 93. And at that point in time, Little John, right?
Yeah.
He was DJing.
Okay.
And Little John obviously he hadn't made it big yet, but like it was like a tight-lit community. And I'll never forget, Little John was DJing, and I was in a club called Phoenix. Anybody that's an old school Atlanta head would know this, but I was in there, and what happened was the reason I met Rico is because I was training to be a stockbroker at a firm called A.G. Edwards, and I realized that life wasn't for me. And so that's when I was taking tailoring courses. So what happened was that within 4 months of taking tailoring courses, I left there and I opened up a swap meet at a swap meet at Greenbrier Mall, right across the street, and I was making hoodies and sock hats. Remember the sock hats everybody learned in the 90s?
Yeah.
Well, I used to make those, and so that's how I met Rico, because him and I forget who it was that was with him, but that was the start of our friendship because he loved it and he bought it. So to make a long story short, to go back to the Phoenix, is that I was in the Phoenix, and 3 guys that had bought from me earlier that day. It was almost like an aha moment. Like it's like the light lit up. Yeah. So the door is open. They come in. Little John is playing, and he's killing it music wise. And at some particular point in time, when they walk in the door, everybody kind of just stopped and be like, yeah, look at these guys. And I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it.
I need that vibe. That's what's up.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Yeah. So ever since then, I pretty much make my living through fashion.
So I never see you without a cigar and color. So tell me about the cigar again, because you're pretty much an aficionado when it comes to cigars.
Well, cigars for me it's my life. I'll do this till I die. This ain't, a lot of guys, they pick up certain habits and they pick up certain, and they follow certain trends because it's cool. I'll smoke cigars when it ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just what I do.
Yeah.
I love cigars and I love libation. And so I am a lover of cigars. Right now I'm smoking something called Las Calaveras. It's by a company called Esteli. It's a Nicaraguan cigar, and it's when I would say full body, I would say full in flavor. It's a full body cigar, but it's not gonna like have you, put you on your ass. It's a nice full, but the flavor profile is just really just amazing. And then I'm drinking a whiskey by a company called oh my gosh, man. Oh, Monkey Shoulder.
Monkey Shoulder.
Yeah. This is just an everyday whiskey. You can get a nice bottle for about 35 to 39 bottles in New York.
Yeah.
Outside of New York, it's probably going to be cheaper, but it's a great whiskey from Scotland.
So when you're usually chilling with those two, with that combo would be your go-to? Just like I'll pop that boy out. This is a whiskey that I'll take. I'll just drink on and sip on and just chill. Is that your go-to combo?
A cigar and a libation. Because right now I'm hopefully I'm not gonna say hopefully. I'll speak it into existence. By the end of the year, I will have I'm working on a ready-to-drink cocktail collection.
Yeah.
I haven't told anybody the name. I haven't posted any photos because I've learned through social media that everybody, that there's a lot of people out there, man, that just, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, they'll steal your picture and tell you and tell everybody it's them, bro.
Tell you it ain't you. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But yeah, so I'm working on a ready-to-drink cocktail, collection. It's and for most people that don't know what a ready-to-drink cocktail is that imagine you go into a bar or a club or a lounge and you order a mixed drink. All right. Well, I found out a way, working with other master mixologists, and I actually just graduated from mixology school because I wanted to learn more about it. And ask me about that later because I want to talk to young people about that.
Yeah.
But to make a long story short is that I found out a way that I can take that very same quality of drink that you order at the lounge and I can bottle it and it can still stay fresh, whether it's 3 months or 6 months.
Got it.
Right. So, so we're making a very high-end cocktail collection. A lot of the spirits are coming from France. And then we have some local ingredients involved as well. And so I'm looking to launch that by I will launch that by the end of the year. I've been having some tastings in New York as well as Atlanta, and the feedback has been amazing.
Well, one of the things what I've loved to learn about you, Terry, is that you're a consummate learner, and you tend to turn into like a student or an encyclopedia of whatever it is that you're getting into. You like to study it, you know, and for someone who says, hey, you know, I have this idea and I want to put this out, you're not just saying, hey, I have an idea and I want to put it out, but I'm actually going to get certified as a mixologist. I'm going to take a class to actually know what I'm talking about in the study, just like you did before with taking the tailoring class. Like, I'm going to actually do it, learn it, instead of just selling it and then hoping that I'm giving somewhat decent information.
Absolutely.
So speak on that.
It's and I would advise anyone, old or young, if you're going to get into a business, then do some level of apprenticeship or do some level of schooling so you can educate yourself. Because at the end of the day, I'll give you an example, right? I used to design clothing for a lot of urban brands, right? And at one point, I was really nice on the computer with graphics, Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, what have you, right? So before I learned that, I used to go to people and give them my ideas so they can do my storyboards, and they would charge me so much money, bro. And they charged me so much money because I didn't know, bro. Yeah. Right. So, make a long story short, I pay someone to teach teach me that skill set, and I'm like, I can't believe this guy was charging me $500 for literally 2 minutes worth of work, bro. Yep. 2 minutes worth of work, bro. And that's why it's very, very important for you to educate yourself, right? Whether taking classes, entrepreneurship, go and assist someone, work for them for free, just to gain that knowledge. Because knowledge is key, right? That's So I'm glad you asked that question, because a lot of people need to know that. They really do.
The apprenticeship, kind of is a thing of the past. It's like, I remember being a kid and watching like these movies about like Prince, King Arthur, and all this stuff, and you'll see the apprenticeship, the person who's learning how to make swords and make these, make armor. They always talked about the apprentice. So it's just awesome, that you had enough, understanding of the value of apprenticeship and learning before you get into, the business that you decide to go into. There's a lot of value there.
I'm gonna drop a gem on everybody, Ihsaan. All right. I'll give an example about apprenticeship. All right. Give an example, right? Okay. So I start my own clothing line, right? I'm funded by one company. Now that could mean, or I became A&R at a label. Same thing, right? Okay. So most people my age are not really going to be good at taking direction. That's just what it is, right? Yep. So now, I need somebody that's young, hungry, energetic, right? Somebody comes in, they don't have much skill set, but I can see their ambition. So I say, listen, come in and work for me as an intern. There's no pay, I'll just pay you. There's no pay, obviously, in internship, right? Yeah. But I pay for your lunch, what have you, right? Meanwhile, internship is almost like college. Most people don't look at it that way. Yeah. But some examples, people take advantage of you. Yes, I do understand that. But try and follow. So what happens is that I hire this intern, right? They become indispensable. Now, if I'm working A&R, if I'm an A&R director and I have a intern that's indispensable, where I'm only paying for his lunch, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm a designer and I'm backed by one company, and I end up saying, you know what, this ain't working out. I'm gonna go to another company, right?
Yep.
And this person is indispensable, bro. They know my work habits. They know they can finish my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
They can design when I'm not at the office, right?
Yep.
If you in A&R, now they know what you're looking for. They can go and find talent. They can scout producers. They can scout whatever that you're looking for. So now, when I go into that next situation, the first person I'm hiring is my intern.
Absolutely, 100%.
The first person I'm hiring right now, I got two young guys, Rich and Rico, because of their I'm like speeches with these guys. Like I love them. Like basically interns, right? They were helping me with my social media. Bro, I just went into partnership with them, bro, because I believe them so much. I believe in them, bro.
That's awesome.
Like I trust them, bro. Like I trust them more than anybody that I have been in business with within the last 15, 20 years, bro.
That's huge.
Because they get the work done. And they came in for free. And now they're going to, as you see, I have a lot of shit going on, but I have a collection that we're launching before the end of the year as well.
Okay.
And they're going to be my business partners. But the key to it is when you have to look at it like college.
Mm-hmm.
Most people look at it from the standpoint of this person is trying to pimp me for free. And it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So you have to have a certain discernment about who you decide to intern for.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, while that other person is going to college for 4 years, you're working in the business, gaining real hand knowledge and experience. So when they get out 4 years later, yes, they have a degree, but
they don't have the experience or the knowledge. They just have.
They don't have the experience or knowledge.
They just have the books, right? But it's different. That on-the-job training, that intern is having that on-the-job training, straight up understanding the dynamics, what to say, what not to say, who to look for, who not to look for, who to be to pay attention to, and the one to say, okay, I need to sit back and learn. This is a lesson. I need to sit back and listen to this lesson. So that's valuable, and good on those young men who were smart enough and humble enough to take you on and listen and become that intern. Now they've created through their work ethic, and this is for young people as well, through your work ethic and your knowledge and experience of learning and willingness to learn, you're able to now be positioned to, in this case, to be a partner in a venture that otherwise you probably wouldn't have, or would take you a much longer time period to get to that point. So
much longer, because most times those doors that you want to get in are shut out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get in through internship, or then you have a leg up, because this whole, bro, I'm in my 50s now, early 50s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I never understood the significance, because again, I'm from the other side of the tracks, bro.
Yeah.
I don't have no, I stepped away from the music industry. I don't have the music industry. I don't have no contacts. Sports industry, I don't have no contacts because I stopped doing clothing for NFL guys, right? I'm not a Kappa, Q, or Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
I don't frequent any religious organization. Bro, I'm out here by myself, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I get because of me, not because I can call up my frat brother, or my guy in a certain organization, right, and say, hey, do you have access to blah blah blah? So the point I'm making is that relationships are the driving force most times for success for people, because You need relationships so you can find the adequate funding, so you can find the adequate knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So again, I tell my young boys, don't be like me, bro, because it's a hard road, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, like I gotta get it through. I gotta knuckle up, bro.
Well, Terry, you talk about that. You like, as an entrepreneur, you do so many different things. You've taken a lot of L's. Taking the L's, man. How does someone come back, and like continue to go after whatever it is, or for the next thing, if they've taken an L on the chin, in the nuts, in the gut, the pocket, how do you continue, being, a mature man, knowing obviously the responsibilities that you have? How do you continue to go at bat, man?
Because not everybody gets their money at the same time. Sam Walton started Walmart at 70 years old, bro. Lee Iacocca, who brought back Chrysler.
Lee Iacocca, yeah.
He had filed for bankruptcy 11 times, bro. Not everybody get it at the same time. So I may hustle for 25 years, taking numbered L's, bro. If I had invested my money into stocks or into property, I'd be worth $5 to $10 million. I'd be worth $5 to $10 million right now, bro. But I invested all into some people would say dreams. I would say, my ideas.
Yeah.
But I know that what's gonna happen is one day I'm gonna go 0 to 100 million real quick.
I believe it, man.
You know what I mean? And so for me, it's just like I just understand as I read and as I talk to people that a lot of times us as Black folks, right? And whoever out there is listening or see this is a very important part. And I want you to never forget this. Never, ever forget this. Whatever you worked on, wherever you failed at, a lot of times it's not because of you. It's because of your circumstance. Like most times that businesses fail is from lack of being adequately capitalized.
Yep.
I've done, bro, I couldn't even count how many business plans I've done since I was 21, bro. Right?
Endless,
right? And here I am thinking that I had to show 22% returns, 30% returns, 40% returns. Bro, in the financial world, you know what a good return is, bro?
What?
6%.
I would say 5-10%, somewhere in that middle.
Wow. Bro, if you have $100 million business and you make $6 million, and you could do that for the course of 10 to 20 years at a constant 6% return, bro, that's phenomenal. But we end up, because we don't understand the other side of the table of how money works, we end up doing business plans that are completely outside of the spectrum, right? And the other thing about it is that we also go into business most times underfunded.
Yeah.
If you have relatively intelligence, I'm not saying you got to be brilliant, relatively intelligence, right? Average intelligence, and you are a hard worker and you're willing to learn from your mistakes, right? And you are adequately funded, you will be a success. And that is what we don't understand as people of color.
Yeah.
Most times these businesses that win, they win from attrition. Everyone can come up with a great clothing line.
Yeah.
Right? So you go to the trade shows, you show your clothing line. And people say this is amazing. Yeah, but can you ship every season for the next 5 years or for the next 8 years? Everybody that came out with the clothing line better than yours, more beautiful than yours, more sourced than yours, more celebrities wearing it, they had a fucking business because they was undercapitalized. If you, what happens is that when I have to make $800 or $1,200 or $1,800 per square foot in my store, I want somebody I know who's gonna ship.
For sure.
And when all those other businesses go out of business and you're there with just classic stuff and you're well financed, you're going to win. And it's all about capitalization. And that's one of the things that we as Black folks, we think, a lot of us think that our business plan wasn't sharp, or that we weren't capable, or that we weren't ready. No, you just didn't have enough money.
That's what
money
Kanye was about, right? Kanye was talking.
Money allows you to make mistakes, bro.
Yeah.
Money, bro. Uber right now makes more money on Uber Eats than Uber.
That's insane. That's insane.
I was just reading something last year. I forget how many billions that Uber had made on Uber Eats. Uber Eats is carrying Uber, bro.
That's nice.
But money allows you to do that. So if you know your business, and here it is, right? If you have a business plan, right, and you say I need $3 million to make this work, no, bro, you need like five and a half. And when you have adequate access to capital, people that do real business would understand that, and they're gonna give you 5.5. They're not gonna, you asking for 3 and they say, yo, you gotta make 1 point, you gotta make 1.1 work.
Yeah.
No, bro, you're gonna always be out of business, bro.
Yeah. You gotta leverage up. You gotta have that additional capital, for
right?
All the, like you said, for the mistakes. You know what I mean? You need that buffer. And it's funny because I remember, you know, like you was talking about it with Mike, you know, this whole idea of Kanye and Sway. You're like, you don't know Sway. It's like, you need those dollars to help you to do all those things. And, you know, absolutely. You know,
absolutely, bro. I was having a conversation with a gentleman just past Saturday, and we're talking about the fashion business. And this can go off in a different tangent. Obviously, we know there's extreme racism in luxury fashion. It's extreme.
Yes.
And I was telling him, I'm like, listen, in the history of fashion, to right now, 2020, we probably had about two people. You got what's his name over LVMH. You have the other the light skinned kid. I forget what company it is, right? Yeah. And then they also gave what's his name his shot out of Calvary.
You got Oslo Boateng.
They gave him a shot. He was head of a luxury brand, right?
Yeah. Givenchy, I believe it was. Givenchy? I think it was
I think it's Givenchy, right?
Yeah.
3 in the history of fashion. Bro, do you know how much money they gave John Varvatos, who just went bankrupt? Do you know how much they gave John Varvatos when he launched his line? It was close to 15, anywhere from 15 to 20 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. You know how much money they gave him, bro?
How much?
When he launched?
How much?
40 million, bro. $40 fucking million, bro.
That's crazy.
How you feel with $40 million investment, bro?
That's unbelievable for him to fail at 40 mil, and it was for 20 years. So that
40 million, bro.
How can you just blow that?
David Chu gave John Barbados $40 million, bro.
And imagine what we could do with that. You know, all these young minds, all these amazing designers, creatives, musicians, artists, if we had that capital.
The point being, Ihsaan, is that whoever is listening or whoever sees this, most times than not, it's not you. It's just that you're not well capitalized enough. You're not capitalized enough to be able to learn from data. White folks we would say learn from mistakes. White folks say learn from data.
For sure.
Your data, your hypothesis came back wrong. You thought the product, you thought that 60% of men from the ages of 35 to 50 was your core audience, it comes back that it's 21 to 35 women that are your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Access to adequate capital, being well financed, allows you to look at the data, right? To be able to aim and then shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And you can recover and you can learn.
So
it's not you, black folks. It's not you. It's not you. Sometimes you just undercapitalized.
Got it. So you guys, that was a valuable lesson. Thanks, Terry. Let's switch it up a little bit, man. And you and I share something very unique. And one of the things that really spoke to me about your story is we both have kids on the autism spectrum.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay.
So my son's 13.
Okay.
And so I wanted to talk to you about purpose. And let's talk about purpose.
Okay.
And break that down for people. And the reason why I wanted us to talk about this, you and I, is two black men, two fathers. This is a conversation that rarely happens. That people rarely hear. Two men who understand the dynamic challenge of having a kid on the spectrum, and then how do we navigate that as a parent? And then you were able to take that energy, that pain, frustration, confusion, trying to figure this out, and this love for your daughter, and turn it into an opportunity to not only help her share the message and the understanding of autism and why it's so important. So let's talk about purpose.
Purpose came from the idea, right? Our daughter, Riley, autistic. We noticed when around about 18 to 22 months. Most autistic kids in black and brown communities, meaning black people and Latin people, aren't diagnosed till they're 7 years of age.
Yep, 6 or 7. You're right.
Right. Okay. So anyway, to cut to the chase, I'm in the kitchen, and my wife is coming up from downstairs from our first floor doing laundry, and I'm like, how many times have you done laundry? She's like, this is the second load. And I'm looking at her sweep and mop, and I'm like, this is an all day thing, right? And so the light bulb went on, right? Because I've always wanted to, be able to contribute to humanity after I'm gone. Not on no legacy shit. I can give a fuck about legacy. Just knowing that I left this world in a better place.
Okay.
Right.
Is that legacy though?
I don't, some people may look at it that way, but I don't. Okay. My thing is I was like, what is going to be here for a very long time? And that's when the light bulb went off. People are going to wash their clothes.
Yep.
People are going to mop their floors. People are going to clean their countertops. Right?
Yep.
So I said, what if I could use everyday common products that people are going to use anyway? They're going to use it anyway.
Yeah,
right?
Need-based product, yeah.
Right? And what if I can create a revenue stream from that, and I can aggregate it, meaning I can aggregate all the profits, right? And I can use it as a force for good. So my thing is that I'm looking at purpose. Like, to be quite honest with you, real talk, I want to give purpose to someone. Right now, I don't feel that I'm capable of taking it to where it needs to be because it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
I really want to find someone who has a passion and who has a drive, who I can just give the company to and say, listen, this is my manufacturer. This is my fulfillment center. And I'll sign it over to you, and you can take it and run with it. But to make a long story short, the whole idea is that, for example, 1 out of every 3 people in America are either diabetic or pre-diabetic.
Yep.
So my whole idea was purpose. The detergent are for kids with autism. The dishwashing liquid are for people that suffer from diabetes.
Mm.
The countertop spray is for people that suffer from Alzheimer's or dementia.
Mm.
I want to create product lines that were a significant amount of the revenue goes back into helping the Black and brown community, organizations that are fighting for your kids and my kids.
I love that.
Right? And so the whole idea is to create a revolving revenue stream that 50 years from now, when I'm long gone, or 20 years from now, when I'm long gone, or whatever the case may be, it's still helping. It's still helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really want to do. And to be quite honest with you, like I said, I really want to. I'm praying that I could find someone that will step to the table that says, "Hey, man, I can take this and carry it."
I love it. I love the whole idea, and I didn't know about the other products within Purpose. You know, I only understood about the, you know, plant-based, you know, washing laundry detergent, which is amazing in itself. But the other ideas, that's mind blowing to me, because we have my mother-in-law has Parkinson's, so you know, you talk about like dementia that kind of falls in that area. You know what I mean? So so many of us who are dealing with these type of things in our families. One of the things something that I learned a while back, and maybe this will speak to you. And one of the things I learned about my journey with my son is, and a lot of people don't really see the different signs. You know what I mean? So it was, you know, we tell people, don't be saying nothing wrong with my baby. You know, my baby this or my baby that, he just bad.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I said they didn't know what the fuck they talking about.
Yeah.
I thought they were trying to hustle me, bro.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really want to talk about it too much because I won't be able to finish the interview. I'll start crying and crying.
I got you, bro. One of these days we'll have to just chop it up about that.
Yeah.
Mano a mano. But one of the things I will say is I have not called my son autistic in years, and I'll tell you why. It's sort of like I said, my son has autism. He's not autistic. And the reason being is that we would never say, this is my cousin, leukemia.
Yeah.
This is my cousin, Parkinson's. You say, oh, this is my cousin, Tamika. It's just so happened it has leukemia or Parkinson's. Yeah. So I learned how to reframe my communication when I talk about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I hope that will at least help somebody out there. You know what I mean? Because you carrying that stigma with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know we carry that load. But let's hop a little bit and we talk about your new venture and these cocktails. You want us to get back to that about these ready to wear cocktails. Yeah. And to come up with that is genius. I mean, I've seen it, like, you know, grab and go wines. I've seen that. And I saw it on Shark Tank. It's so funny. Saw it, the guys on Shark Tank who created that, and then, you know, a couple of years go by and now you see it on the shelves. Yeah. So let's talk about your cocktails, man, and how that came to be.
Well, I had a beverage. Mm-hmm. And I have it in my basement right now. Right? Okay. It's called Healthy Pop.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. Healthy Pop has CBD in it. Mm-hmm. It has sea moss and moringa. Sea moss, you know, Dr. Sebi talks about it. Sea moss is one of the most nutrient rich. It's actually an algae from the sea. Yeah. Right. Moringa is the most nutrient rich plant on the planet. So it's basically so my whole thinking was that it's sea and land. Mm-hmm. And that encompasses the human body. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tissue and water. Yeah. Right. So I was working on that, and I felt that although it's a great product, I was very, very late to the market. There's 1,000 CBD products out there.
Yeah.
But my love has always been, I've always wanted to do a spirit. And that's how it kind of morphed into the ready-to-drink cocktail collection I'm working on.
Got it.
And I started that probably maybe about a year ago.
Okay.
Tinkering with the idea of a ready-to-drink cocktail. And what made me understand that I may be right on time is because throughout most of the states right now, states and local municipalities are allowing bars and lounges to deliver pre-mixed.
Yep.
So the public is going to be ready for a already ready pre-made cocktail.
That's good.
Right. There's maybe one or two brands out there, which is bullshit, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
They're not using premium ingredients, and they're not doing anything that is really that's going to excite the palate, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing some really, really experimental. I'm playing with extracts. Bro, it's and the testings have been off the charts. People love it. So
look, my hand raised. Look, me and Mike hand raised. Mike already done it. He's over there begging for the pop.
Right. What's up, Mike? Yeah. So I just had testings. I'll have my label. I just approved my label for my bottle today.
Awesome.
And then I'll file for my TTB and my TTB. And as well as the other legal aspects that needs to be taken care of. And I haven't posted about it because, like I said, man, like there's so many thieves out there, bro.
Hey, robbers in the daylight. They're not even at night no more.
Bro, I remember I started doing videos of me smoking cigars.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden, everybody came out doing the exact same video. I used to say, distinguished gentleman from the great state of New York. Everybody started becoming a distinguished gentleman. I started This Ain't for Punks. Everybody started saying this. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And some people do it out of homage, and some people do it out of theft.
Straight up biting.
Because they can't think, you know? But again, cigars and libations give me an opportunity to really think. I just came up with another a great idea. I just wish I had someone else that had the ambition to match my ideas. Kind of like and pardon me, I'm no fan of Kanye.
Yeah.
Like once you give aid and comfort to my enemies.
Cut. Got it. I feel you.
But, you know, Kanye talks about it all the time about financing the ideas. Because you need adequate finance. And if you can get that, right, Michael? But if you can get that, then you can win.
Yeah.
So yeah, I plan on launching by January.
Okay.
You know, I've been working for it on a year. Like I said, I went to school. So I could learn how to make a proper drink, and I could just educate myself because I need to have that knowledge, bro. You know,
but it's humbling and it's interesting is because I'm thinking about, you know, guys who, you know, I'm like the next tier between you and Mike. So we'll just talk about the three of us, and it's like you're like the big bro to me, and it's like sometimes when you get in your 40s or mid 40s, you thinking it's too late. You know, you missed the boat. What would you say to someone who's sitting here thinking and maybe they have an idea or concept, or they just feel like, man, I'm stuck, but I don't know, man, if it's worth it. What would you tell them?
That's a great question. You know what I learned, man?
What's up?
Yo, when we in our 20s, we're gung-ho.
Yep.
We have all the ideas. Right? and everybody tell us we're crazy.
Yep.
Right? So in your 30s and 40s, you're looking at the ideas, and you're like, yo, I can't risk it. I can't risk putting money into something when I have to think about the future.
Yeah.
I gotta also look at it from the standpoint of how my friends look at me and how people, you know, because a lot of us, same thing going back to Ye, a lot of us are afraid to do certain things because of whether we lose, or if we lose face with our friends. So 30s and 40s is that. When you get to 50, you're like, oh, this is bullshit, man. If I would just say my idea when I was 20, I would win. Because most of this shit, bro, is a perfect example, right? I moved to New York in 98, right?
Yeah.
98, 99, right? I'm on some other shit in terms of fashion, right? I developed a clothing line. I'm taking T-shirts, I'm turning them inside out, and I'm taking ostrich, I'm taking eel, crocodile, lambskin, and I'm using that and cutting it and sewing it on shirts and crucifixes and skulls and what have you, right? I knew it was bananas. I show it to my friends. Damn, man, you on some different shit. Not one thing positive.
Yeah.
You on some different shit. I don't know, T. That ain't for me. I lose confidence in myself.
Yep.
I don't do it. Pardon me. Nigga, that's Ed Hardy.
Sure enough, you're right. You're right. All day long.
Ed Hardy lunch is become a $300 million brand, bro.
Crazy.
If I was in my 20s, I wouldn't have gave a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have cared.
I wouldn't care, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm listening to my peers, bro. And they steered me wrong, bro.
And
the shit was fire, bro.
Still not doing they still didn't where you was back then. You know what I mean?
But now, I'm at an age now, Ihsaan, where when people get my age, they too old to give a fuck. I don't give a fuck no more. I'm doing the fuck I want to do.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm getting on that train, bro. I'm getting on that train. But with Terry, you know, we got about a minute and 20 seconds left. This has been an honor and a pleasure.
Man. Thank you for having me, brother.
Yeah, man. Part 2 now. It's honor because just like you said, it's something you don't do quite often. You know, and I know you're very busy with family and the businesses. Where can anyone else, if they wanted to get either Purpose or any of the other products or services?
Very simple. I ship same day.
Okay.
I have the best fulfillment center in the business. If you order before 2:30, I ship same day. You can go at www.purpose.co, not .com, .co. So it's PUR, P as in Paul, U as in underdog, R as in Ricky, P as in Paul, U as in underdog, S as in Sam, .co. If you order before 2:30, I ship same day. If you order after 2:30, I ship next day.
Brilliant. Yeah. Terry, again, it's an honor and a pleasure. Thank you. We need to talk offline because we got to talk about our kids, man. All right.
Thank you for having me, man.
Absolute pleasure. Thank everyone today for listening and watching this amazing conversation with the brilliant, ever so talented serial entrepreneur, Mr. Terry Corbett. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
I hope you enjoyed today's amazing interview. Today's episode was brought to you by my new book, Why Style Matters, The Mindset of Dressing Well and How It Impacts Your Life. To get your autographed copy, click the link in the description.